Greetings. We are a group of interdimensional beings speaking to you on behalf of the Galactic Federation, and more importantly, we represent the wishes of all that is. Today, we would like to speak to you about a subject that is very contentious. We will address the concept of money and its reflection on your way of life. As light beings, we exist in planes of existence that is not physical, and so we are designated to live within certain areas of our being as directed by our growth and our creative wish to explore at a soul level. Let us give you examples of our experiences. The Pleiades is a star system that consists of 7 stars. These stars are of various frequency bands and so vibrate at very different levels of existence. As a Pleiadian who is a part of this collective speaking to you, I evolved during the evolutionary cycle within the 5th dimension, and so I emerged as a young soul. I became aware of my existence within this dimension, within a location that you might refer to as the divine realm. This is where my soul spark was born and resides at its highest level. This young energy was brought to a gathering of higher dimensional beings for guidance to plan my future experiences as a soul spark of all that is. You might wonder why it is I evolved in the 5th dimension and not arrived at this point from graduating from the 1st to the 4th and then to the 5th dimension. I would like for you to imagine the evolutionary process of a soul as a large shaft of light that has many branches birthing from it, from the very bottom right to the top, that is directly connected to the energy of all that is. This energy in its exploration can imagine itself to be birthed on any level along this vast shaft of light, and so it came to be that I was birthed in the 5th dimension for this being to explore within this dimension. The gathering with the higher dimensional beings took place after much discussion and deliberation as my future experiences were explored. I was then placed in the Pleiades constellation, and this is where my explorations began. I am an ancient soul now since this birthing, as it took place a while ago, and I have over the course of my existence explored and experienced much beyond the 5th dimension. I have had the opportunity to learn about other dimensions and the various aspects of these dimensions. These subjects are vast, as each being and each race have many countless experiences, and so it is too vast for one being to grasp. However, I have studied many aspects, and outside of this, I have also explored my own creative yearnings. These are the study of frequency, vibration, genetics, and music. All of this has led me to where I am now, which is a member of the Galactic Federation, assisting in this grand plan to bring the lost souls of the Earth plane back to the evolutionary path as designed by all that is. Through my experience and knowledge, the experience of the 3rd and 4th dimension, as perceived on the Earth's plane prior to her invasion by the Draco-Reptilian and Orion Grey Alliance, was very different to what it is now. The Earth plane was a plane of abundance, and when beings incarnated upon these planes, they incarnated into abundance. They did not want for anything. Food was aplenty, as the foliage and the forests provided for its inhabitants. Beings lived simple lives, and they built shelters and homes sufficient for their needs. They traded amicably, if required, and their disputes were brought before elders who represented the community. These beings lived pure lives, with the true objective being to achieve the purpose they incarnated for. The elders guided them in their process, as did their parents and others within the community. In this way, each one was aware of each other's purpose, and so they encouraged each other on their individual paths and supported each other to achieve their purpose and their soul's goal. We understand that this is a stark polarity to your present reality, where you are unable to live without the commodity known as money, which is the objective and the purpose of your existence. We understand that this energy has been ingrained in your way of life for many thousands of your years, and you have no concept of how to live without it. We wish for you to make this important distinction in understanding the true purpose of your existence. Were you birthed on this plane to achieve accolades in wealth and social standing, or were you birthed to fulfill your soul's purpose? If you are able to make this breakthrough in your understanding and your perception, you will free yourself from many burdens and allow for abundance to flow within your life, and allow for your soul and its energies to be realigned with the higher energies and that of all that is. From your present state of affairs, this might seem impossible, but there are ways, and this step forward will take much courage. We have discovered that many of you are already practicing this way of life, and these beings are living very fruitful and happy lives. We encourage you to take small steps by first imagining each element of your life and what this would look like without the influence of money, and what alternatives you might bring forth in order to achieve these goals. We would also like to use our own project as an example in this impossible situation. We co-created writing a book that is now available on your internet, that has been priced and is being sold for money. We have done this because we saw no other immediate method to reach the many with our message. We hope that as time goes by, these things will change, where you will be able to find our book in your grocery store, that you may trade for a commodity that you have in surplus. We are not there yet. Much creative thinking and projection is required for each being to find ways and means to live without the underlying energy of money. This commodity holds the energy of the dark overlords that brought slavery to your plane of existence, and so this energy needs to be purged from your plane of existence. The more you move away from this energy, the freer your soul and its connection to all that is will be. We have watched the being whom we work with struggle with this concept, as she has over her life attempted many times to walk away from this concept of money, but the restraints of society do not allow for her to make a complete break. She struggles financially, but is beginning to understand the concept and is incorporating and is working her way through all of this creatively by exploring various methods of her own creativity that will allow for her to trade, and in this way achieve a livelihood without the energy of money. Like many of you who have struggled over the last 2 years with societal interactions and the demands of your governments, who have become quite treacherous in diminishing your ability to interact with your friends and family, work at jobs that you had to, or shop in peace at your local grocery stores without the threat of mandates. We have seen different aspects of how this has affected the general public and ask you to find strength within. These energies are in the death throes of the receding dark forces as they leave your plane of existence. We ask you to evaluate your life and explore your life minutely. Are you a wealthy person? Are you just getting by? Are you poor? Or All of these standings within your society have been established by the system that was created by these perceived beliefs in your mind that determined your standing in society as a result of your education, wealth, or familial heritage. You are a being of innate knowledge and power. Your energy is directly connected to all that is the most powerful being ever to exist. So why is it that you live in lack? You have the power to change your circumstances if you just begin to remove yourself from the burdens that have been laid upon you by society and begin to forge a path that is dictated by your soul and its innate purpose and mission upon this plane as designed by your true connection to all that is. We realize that you have been under the dictates of slavery, but you are no longer under this draconian reign. You are a free sovereign soul and have the freedom to live out your soul's true purpose. We ask you to go within, find a quiet place to meditate, and truly ask yourself these questions. You will soon realize that you don't need many of the things you have gathered around you for all these years, or perhaps the money that you have tirelessly accumulated. Is any of this truly going to make you happy? Yes, we understand that you need your creature comforts, but besides all of this, is your money and wealth going to fulfill your soul's purpose and its explorations? Let us give you an example. A soul destined for an experience upon the earth plane has the purpose to explore the emotion of compassion as one element of its incarnation, the other element being to explore unconditional love with another, whether a friend or a partner, it does not matter. Another was to learn as much as it could about the workings of the environment and its frequency connection to the larger cosmos. How would this being fare in your present world? The first two elements would perhaps be possible, but it would still be quite difficult. The third aspect would most certainly be impossible, as the frequency on your plane is tainted, and your connection to the outer cosmos severed. How would this being ever begin to understand these concepts if they do not exist? Your present concept of love has been degraded to such drastic levels that you imagine unconditional love to be quite something else. As a being from the Pleiades, we pride ourselves in knowing the concept of unconditional love, and so to view these aspects of what you know as love on your plane is quite disturbing. We take our study into the realm of understanding love very seriously. The first step in this direction for beings who wish to explore this potential in purity would be for a being to clear away any and all energies that do not vibrate in the frequency of love. We have talked about this frequency of love as measuring 528 Hz or higher. Your plane of existence is currently vibrating at a level of about 300 Hz on an average. So it is safe to say that you have much healing to do as you raise yourself from these low vibrating energies. As we have mentioned in previous transmissions, the beings on the earth plane are being offered the energetic hand of all that is, so that you may raise yourself from these depths, so that you may be fast-tracked from the third to the fifth dimension. The only way you may achieve this goal is for you to raise your frequency and the vibration of your energy. There are many aspects in your life that you will find that is vibrating at a low frequency, and we ask you to begin working on these darkest areas first. You will soon find that a shift takes place as the darkness recedes, to be replaced and filled with light. There are many methods to achieve this, as it requires your own creative mind to play this important role in discovering and exploring these possibilities and potentials. If you are struggling with a relationship, meditate on the reasons why this relationship is toxic. Introduce elements of truth and compassion to these scenarios for yourself and your partner. Explore your connection to your higher self and ask for guidance, and it will come as each of your circumstances are different. Your higher light knows what is best for you to relieve yourself from these situations. If you are struggling with your job, explore the reasons why. Are you engaged in this work from your heart? Are you truly joyful in the elements of this work? Is it contributing to the true growth of your life's purpose, your family, and your community? Do you know the true reason your organization came into being, and what is their purpose? Are they contributing to these dark energies that are now receding from your plane of existence? These answers will come to you, and if you feel displeasure or discomfort in your body or mind, this will be a sign for you to remove yourself from these situations so that you may find creative aspects of your being to explore. If these words come across as harsh, we apologize. We are viewing these developments from a higher perspective, and we see your individual potential, and we know just how powerful you are. We wish for nothing more than for you to explore your complete potential from a higher vibrational standpoint. You will not be able to achieve much from a low vibrating position, and so we ask you to be brave and to break through to these higher levels of your consciousness, to discover and to explore your true potential. Your soul thirsts for this growth. Embrace these gifts, and you will only find abundance. We will leave you now as you explore these topics within your own experience. We encourage you to ask us questions and explore our YouTube channel for other topics of discussion. If you find it in your heart to read our book, then so be it. We leave you now in peace and joy on your path. Blessings.